Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FKA the Pod, your favorite two-man show for the next at least week, maybe more. Who
Maybe
knows?
more.
My name is Trent, and I'm joined by Seth. Reed's still out of the country.
Yeah.
He's MIA, if you will. Well, we know kind of where he is, so maybe not.
He is in
But,
action, though. Yeah, he's not missing, but he's in action.
yeah, he's in action. But yeah, we've got potentially a nice show for you. Well, it's always a nice show. Potentially a packed show for you guys.
Yeah.
First order of business, we've got drinks. What do you have for us today, Mr.
Well,
Butler, Mr.
as-
Doctor, Professor Butler?
As per usual, I've got the Ryan Stellhorn Memorial Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey shot out of the Christmas coffee mug. You can see there. I'm also
Classic.
drinking a wine. It's a Sauvignon
Yeah.
Blanc
Nice.
by Vignoble Le Chateau from Touraine.
Sweet.
Touraine, I guess.
Nice, dude. You've got a French wine.
I
French
do have a
white.
French wine. This is going to be rare once we put 200% tariffs on wine imports. So
Oh shit.
that's
dude.
news. I don't know if that's
Yeah, that's
happening, but
crazy.
that was sad at one point that it was happening. But my sister got me this. She came to visit. So shout
Sweet.
out.
Nice, man. I also have a wine. I was perusing the whites because I wanted to try something a little bit different. More of a red guy, but I was like, you know what? White shirt. Maybe I'll get a white wine.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I didn't get a white wine. I got a green wine from Portugal
Okay.
called Broadbent Vino Verde.
I have seen that
Yeah.
very wine. It's caught my eye several times because it's green.
Because the green bottle. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. So we'll see how it is. It says, what does it say? 9% ABV. Beautifully fresh with tart green apple, white peach, and melon flavors. A delicious, crisp, and zesty finish. So, crisp and zesty finish was indeed my nickname in high school. I don't know what
that's
the
funny.
zesty was. Or
Yeah.
the crisp. That's crazy. I
Um,
just drank a lot of soda water in high school.
crisp. Oh man. Speaking of my sister, she's in college at Virginia Tech. She's in a class that's like wine. It's supposed to be like chemistry. So you're supposed
Yeah.
to understand the reason that wine has the flavor that it has, but really I think it's like, as I understand it, I didn't get that much information about it, but I think it's online and they're like a bunch of students, and the way you get like credit for stuff is you submit reviews of wine and you talk about the flavor profile and you learn how to like critique wine and stuff, but you also are
Right,
supposed
yeah.
to understand like this wine maybe comes from this region, and which means it has this sort of stuff in the soil, which means that it has more of these chemicals which make it taste this way, or it came from the year X, which was a wet year versus a dry year or something, which
Okay, yeah.
which corresponds to some of the chemical stuff that gives it different flavors. So
Interesting.
anyway,
So it sounds like a lot of wine is like just going with the flow. You're working with whatever you have.
yeah, I mean it's like this one. It's got a special. It has an appellation d'origine protégée, which means it has a protected origin name. So you can't call your wine Touraine, I guess, unless it comes from this place. So it's like they can't make wine. Like if their grapes suck, I guess they still just put it out. And it's like you got a funky flavored wine that year because you can't just buy grapes from somewhere else. It has to
Yeah.
come from this place. I don't know. Maybe
Right.
we'll get her on the pod to talk about it.
Yeah, why not? If she
Come
knows
critique
more
some
about
wine.
wine than we do. This is sparkling. I didn't realize it. You can kind of see. It's also not very green.
No, it just
Kinda
looks like
yellow.
a white wine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
We'll see.
Yeah. Does it taste green?
Maybe a little bit. It's not very flavorful at all.
Oh,
I don't know. It's strange, man. You should try it out.
that's interesting.
Well, next time you see it, grab it. It's pretty
Yeah.
cheap.
I'm gonna take my shot. Cheers.
Cheers, man. So, second week without Reed. He's been kind of updating us with stuff. I do want to say he sent us a text message out of the blue, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, he did.
Let me read it to you guys. Let me see if I can find it. He said, out of the blue, like we hadn't really texted in our group message for like since last pod that he was on.
Because
Pretty
we've
much.
just been texting each other to
Yeah,
coordinate.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says Amazon Fresh. Look it up. And I just sent him a question mark. And he's like, "I'm listening to the pod. Just buy your shit online."
Yeah.
And then I sent him a thumbs down. And then he said, "It's the same price as Walmart."
So when he first said Amazon Fresh, look it up, I was like, oh, he's texting.
I was
He's
like,
got.
"That's some news."
Oh, I
Yeah.
was like, he texted the wrong person. I don't know who he's texting about groceries while he's in Japan, but he didn't mean to text us. But then, yeah, we talked about going to the grocery store a couple pods
Yeah.
ago.
I thought he heard some breaking news about
Yeah.
Amazon Fresh or something, but that wasn't the case. But other than that, he's just kind of been posting cool
Yeah.
little things that he's doing. Looks fun. I'm jealous.
Japan.
But anyways, you guys didn't come here to hear about freaking Reed on his
No,
vacation.
I'm sure you'll hear all about that when he comes back.
Yeah. We're saving it. What do we have for today? I've got a segment if you're just wanting to hop in right away.
Yeah, let's hop into something. Let's do it.
Okay. I got some blatant rip-off situation here. Usually consisting of Am I the Assholes from Reddit, but this time it's different because we're going to petty revenge on Reddit and
Okay.
reading a few petty revenge stories and seeing if they hold up. Am I the petty hole, if you will? Petty hole.
Uh-huh.
What is
Petty
a
hole.
petty hole? All right, here we go. The first petty hole story we have today is titled "Cab Driver Rips Me to Shreds Thinking I Can't Understand Him, But I Can."
This is a language thing, I assume.
Yeah, I think so.
I would be nervous even if I spoke like a very rare language.
Yeah.
To talk badly about somebody in front of them. Because I'm sure that they would
Yeah.
sometimes just know. Like even if they don't know what words you're saying, they're
Right.
saying something about me right now.
Yeah. I'm kind of always afraid of that a little bit. I don't know what it is. I'm like, man, these people hate me probably. But here we go. It says, obligatory, this happened several years ago. A few months after I had moved to Chicago, I had moved there from Romania, where I had been living and going to school. Love Romania. People are great. Drop what you're doing and visit. Anyway, while I was there, due to my living situation, I had to learn the language fast and thoroughly. Not many people around me spoke English outside of the university I was at. So fast forward to the few months after I arrived in Chicago. Imagine my surprise when the driver in the Uber I had ordered appeared to have a Romanian name. The area had a lot of Eastern Europeans, so I guess it shouldn't have been so surprising. I was really excited to talk to him and make sure I wasn't getting rusty, maybe make a friend. Up pulls the guy, I get in, he greets me, but he appears to be on the phone with a buddy or family member, so I just sit quietly in the back listening in a bit. The person on the other end asks if the driver is getting off work soon. He responded with something like the following: "No, I still have a few hours left, then I'll go home. Right now I have someone in the car. God, I hate this country. The women here are so fat and ugly." At least
No.
he continues, he says, "At least this one has a nice chest, but why can't she lose some weight?"
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. That's fucking crazy. Especially if you're in a part of Chicago that is known to have a lot of Eastern Europeans.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That
That's
is crazy.
insane, dude. Um, and he goes on and on about all the problems with me and other American women. Now I've always been a bit of on the chonky side, and you must believe the Romanians love to comment on it, so I was used to it. But I was a bit shocked that this guy was going off like that. Anyway, I'm just kind of sitting bemused in the back seat as we near my destination. Then I tell him in Romanian, with all my might, trying to pull off the distinct accent of the region I had been living in. Can you just pull over here on the right? I swear
Yeah.
this guy's head did the Exorcist girl head move, and he turned a shade of red I have seen nowhere else in nature. He didn't say anything, just pulled over. When I got out, I said thanks and added, "You're not attractive, and you're also fat, so maybe you shouldn't make comments like that." uh, I have never again reached such levels of self pride.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess this isn't. They're not asking a question. Am I the petty hole or whatever? But I like that. It's good.
Yeah, that doesn't feel petty though.
No, I mean you
I
just
want
gave it
something
back
that's
as good as you got
borderline.
it.
Yeah, I want something that's a little borderline
You want him to
controversial.
you want her to slash the tires.
Yeah, I want it to be a little bit of like, okay, you maybe went a little bit too far. You know,
Well, I think
I
people
don't
are
think
too
she went far
nice.
enough.
Well, maybe not everybody, but
Yeah,
but yeah,
I don't know, man. I feel like she could have done a lot better. But what else are you gonna do? I mean, you could just maybe report the dude for harassment.
yeah. I mean, you could at least rate them poorly because it's like this person was on the phone, etc. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know if they're rules, and I
yeah,
guess if you're an Uber driver in Chicago, right, you're probably doing like a ton of rides, and like getting a bad
yeah.
rating on one probably isn't that big of a deal. I don't know,
Right.
but
So, I don't know, man. Could have been pettier,
yeah.
in my opinion.
I also like Romanian. That's not like one of the top 10 languages spoken worldwide,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't know. It's not like some extremely rare tribal language only located in
right.
like the rainforest or like
Yeah, yeah,
The Mongolian steppe or whatever.
yeah. In
So
like
I don't.
northern India or something
Yeah, or
like that.
something that's like really remote and not a lot of, like you said, not a lot of people in the area might have this. But if there are a lot of Eastern Europeans, yeah, you don't know about this person. So
Yeah, yeah. All right. Story number 2. This one says, old guy at the state fair yelled at a little girl for standing in front of the butter sculpture, so I took revenge for her.
okay,
All right, here we go. This says, this happened last summer. Like the title says, I was at the state fair looking at a butter sculpture. The old dude is standing next to me recording as it spins around because the sculpture had 2 different sides to it. This little girl, maybe 3, if I had to guess, runs up to it and presses her face and hands against the glass, all excited. Gross. Little girl deserved it. Sucks that the butter sculpture was behind glass.
yeah, I thought this was gonna be put her hands on the butter sculpture. I thought that's what
That's
they
what I
were
was
gonna
hoping
say.
for, man. There should be like you go see the butter sculpture, you get a butter knife and some toast,
Yeah, warm piece
and
of
then you just hold your
toast.
butter knife up and scrape
Yeah,
some of the butter statue. That'd be pretty sweet. Anyways, I laughed because I found it cute. I remember being young and that
yeah,
excited for silly things.
yeah.
But the old dude next to me immediately started bitching. Specifically, he said, "Jesus Christ, get out of the way."
Hmm.
And keep in mind, this girl is not even tall enough to mess with his precious video. If anything, he should have been happy to catch a genuine state fair moment, but nope. Apparently, in his mind, he deserves to get a completely uninterrupted video.
Hmm.
The mom awkwardly apologized and pulled her daughter back. I was immediately fucking livid, though. As soon as I got to the point that the butter sculpture was turning to the side he had recorded, I slowly walked in front of him and past his camera so that I blocked all the important stuff. As I was walking away, he goes, "You're a real asshole, you know that?" And I shot back, Dude, what does that make you? You yelled at a little girl because you need your video that bad. He huffed and puffed and goes, well, you're still an asshole. I just laughed and kept walking away at that point. Made eye contact with the mom before I left, though. She had a huge smile on her face, gave me a nod, and mouthed, thank you. One of the most satisfying moments of my life, honestly.
Yeah, that's
Again,
good.
dude, this is okay. Just so you guys know, I sorted these stories by top over the past year.
Mm.
And both of these stories that I've read so far were like maybe in the top 15, top 20.
Yeah.
They're not that petty.
It's just a verbal exchange. And I think
Yeah.
this indicates we've kind of lost the art of, because
Petty revenge.
yeah, because I feel like if you live in Boston, right, this is you're doing this every day, right? Arguing with somebody on the subway, etc. If you live in New York, I'm walking here, you're verbally disagreeing with people, but we want more action is I think what we're saying.
Yeah. Maybe that's
But
what it is, man. Going to college, living in a big city for years at this
yeah.
point has kind of, made me have a different sense of the word petty,
Mm.
right? Because this is the kind of shit you see all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, honestly, like, yeah, a verbal disagreement with somebody is maybe like the least petty thing.
Yeah. Right. What's the literal definition of the word petty? I got to figure this out.
It means, I think it just means small. Like petty theft is like theft of a small amount of stuff. So
Not petty cash. Give me petty.
petty cash,
Yeah,
I think
it's
also small amount of cash.
Okay. Maybe petty is the wrong. Maybe I'm the one who's misusing petty at this point, because it says petty in English, according to Cambridge Dictionary,
Okay.
is not important and not worthy giving attention to.
Yeah, it is interesting how this in like if you look it up on Urban Dictionary is going to be something different.
Yeah, probably. That's funny. I don't know, man. I guess never mind. This is
Yeah.
exactly petty. These
Yeah.
stories are perfectly petty.
Yeah. Well, let me just while we're on this one, I just want to
Yeah.
take a minute to complain about old people. I guess.
Okay.
I don't know how old this person was. This person said they were old several times, and I think I just kind of have an issue with, not just with old people in general, but like this person who's trying to take the video. They've been to the state fair 75 times,
Yeah. Right.
and you want this little girl to come back to the state fair to keep the state fair going, because you're not going to the state fair that many more times. There's somebody that I'm affiliated with in some way. They're an older individual. I was just talking to my girlfriend Jill about this earlier, and they always show up to places and they've got stuff to say, and it's like, you're not going to be around this place, not like the place of the living, but like this place where we both go to sometimes, for that much longer. But you always got to come in here and say like your opinion and the way that you want things. But it's like, I don't know. Why don't you maybe make it less tailored to you and more tailored to the people who are going to be stuck with this for longer? I don't know. This person doesn't even know how to go like back onto their phone to like watch the video that they just took, but they're going to be pissed if some little
That's why
3-year-old
he was
girl's in it.
upset. He was like, "Oh, it took me 20 minutes to figure out how to press the fucking record button."
Yeah. Ugh.
That's the problem. He's like, now I got to waste 20 more minutes learning how to delete this video, and then 20 more minutes finding the record button again.
The butter sculpture's going to melt by then.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a point. All right.
Okay, yeah. I've changed my mind.
All right. Here's our last petty hole. This one is titled, "A customer abused our support staff, so I let her know that she wasn't as anonymous as she thought she was." This feels possibly juicy.
I like this. I'm they always say this call might be monitored for quality control reasons or whatever. I never really know what that means, but it does make me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, right. I think that's the entire point of it. It's like to
Yeah.
put you on edge.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want you at the top of your game
No.
when you're on a call with one of their support staff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes. Again, several years ago. Several years ago, I worked the late shift as an online customer support agent for a women's clothing company. The other CSAs, and I guess CSA is customer support agent, and I were constantly mistreated by crappy customers, and our managers did absolutely nothing to support us. The company valued its customers so much that the rules for dealing with them were disgustingly lax. For example, this one guy would call in obviously masturbating, but we weren't allowed. But we
Oh
weren't
my
allowed
God.
we weren't allowed to hang up on him because he never actually said he was. Uh, he had a three strike. We had a three strike policy where a customer could say pretty much anything they wanted to three times before they were disconnected or banned. But we also had a 1-day turnover policy where if a customer was cut off for inappropriate behavior, the ban was reset the next day. So someone could come in, tell you that you're a bitch 3 times, get kicked off, and then come and do it again the next day. The entire time I worked there, I never saw a single person get permanently banned, not even the masturbating guy. I eventually ended up quitting specifically because a customer harassed me to the point of me crying, and my manager's response was that I could have an unpaid 10-minute break now instead of my 15-minute break later.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is insane. One of the worst customers was this woman we'll call Kathy. This woman would enter our CSA chats around midnight, drunk. She admitted to this. She would ask questions like, "What jeans do you think go with this top?" While the CSA answered, Kathy would say things like, "Wow, this is taking so long. Imagine working a minimum wage job at midnight. Bet you want to kill yourself. Warning number 1."
Oh my God.
The next time, it would get a little worse. "Wow, you're such a loser. Have you ever thought about killing yourself?"
Oh
I would
my
if I was you.
God.
That was warning number 2. And the last time each night, it would be something like this. "I hope you die. You're so sad. You should kill yourself."
Wow.
At that point, we let her know we could no longer help her, and we disconnect her. And then she'd pop back in the chat within a few days, and the whole thing would start over. She always said the same kind of things. She clearly knew she could say 3 separate terrible things to us. Our managers never helped or stepped in. Damn, that's intense. I didn't realize this one was going to be so heavy.
Yeah. Well,
That's tough, dude.
I'm excited to hear how they get back at Kathy and
Yeah, this is a
masturbating
long
guy.
one. But anyways, they continue. "I once looked this woman up. I wanted to know who she was. To my surprise, I found out that she was a therapist. She had
Kathy is a therapist?
she had her own practice, and I was baffled. What she did was a horrible, cruel, unkind thing. I couldn't believe a therapist would do this. I later quit working at the company. I waited a few weeks, and then I made a phone call to Kathy's practice. I spoke to Kathy. I told her I was seeking therapy. During our intake call, she asked me what kind of issues I was facing. I said, well, I do this really weird psychotic thing a few nights a week. I get really drunk and I start a chat with the minimum wage customer support agents, and I tell them multiple times that they should kill themselves. That's so fucking crazy, right? She made a tiny noise. A moment passed and the call disconnected. My friends at the company said that she never messaged them again.
Wow.
That's sweet, dude. Oh man, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I do like that one.
That one's crazy, but it's cool.
The sad part is she's probably just doing it somewhere else. Like, I mean, she's probably doing it
Yeah.
other places already. I don't know.
Right.
But
Yeah,
that
I
is
don't know. Well,
crazy.
when they were first describing this woman calling in, I was like, oh, well, this person is obviously projecting, right?
Yeah.
They're obviously very sad. Extremely sad, and don't know how to handle it in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Um, but then they're a therapist, and I'm like, what is this? This is
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think that like it is interesting because like maybe you could be a good therapist. If you're a therapist, write in. Maybe you could maybe you could be a good therapist, but like unable to apply the things that you tell other people to your own life somehow.
Yeah, right.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe she just kept all of her therapy textbooks from college and is just reading lines or something. I don't know. What do they teach you in therapy
Yeah, or
school?
maybe like I don't know. That's interesting. Maybe you or maybe she like she's like, "Oh, I'm so skilled at therapy and so empathetic and something something like she doesn't question
Yeah,
her own actions." But that's weird.
yeah.
Like that's
That's
such a
super
weird
strange.
thing.
Super strange. And I feel like maybe she was in a weird, fucked up way, just trying to get more therapy practice.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't know. That was
Yeah.
so strange.
She's
I
trying to
don't get it, man.
create sad people so that more people come to her. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That feels like a conflict of interest.
So one thing, right? Last couple pods ago, you were like, when you got a 2-man pod, this is not particularly deep or whatever, but
Hmm.
there is, with all these online anonymous things, such as I guess online anonymous chat with
Yeah,
customer service agents or whatever.
right.
The anonymity part is like really scary because like if you say something, it can be attached to you. You can be
Hmm.
like shamed for it, or people can like
Yeah, people can gain a shit ton of karma on Reddit.
but just like these anonymous. I guess you could be anonymous on Reddit too and say the horrible
Hmm.
stuff. But like, I don't know. The being anonymous online is like
It
permits
feels like
so
a
many.
big responsibility. Yeah,
Yeah, it kind of permits you to be horrible because people can't trace it back to you. And like,
right.
not that there aren't issues with, I guess the internet allows you to connect with people and whatever. You can find people who are into your weird niche hobbies and stuff like that. But also,
Yeah,
you can just be horrible online because like if you're horrible in real life and people see you being horrible, then they can shame you or decide to not associate with you.
yeah,
But you're Kathy and like none of your psychology patients know about this and this is crazy shit. And like
yeah,
if your
yeah,
clients knew that you did this, they would definitely choose a different psychologist. But she's just anonymously
yeah.
doing this. It's so weird.
Yeah, I think it is. It's insane. And you know what, Seth? I too struggle with self control when given the option to be anonymous. All right, it's okay. It's okay. It's hard to self regulate, man. We get it.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
yeah. I just go crazy. Yeah, this was me. No,
I knew it,
is,
dude.
this was not me. It's also so weird, like the masturbating guy too. Like I'm curious as
Yep.
to what clothing brand this is because that's like I don't know how he would have discovered. Maybe he goes to several different chat bots or whatever. But they're not even
Yeah.
bots. Chat customer support agents or whatever to do this. Um,
Yeah,
but
I
I
don't
feel
even
like if
know like what goes into that thought
yeah.
process. Yeah, it's weird.
I would just think if you're on the internet that there's easier things that you can do.
Right? Yeah, I think I know of a couple of websites.
Resources for this person. Oh my
They
god.
go to their therapist and they're like, "I just can't stop. I can't stop calling these customer support agents and jacking off. Please help me." And then their therapist is like, "You know what? I'm going to write you a prescription." They write down a bunch of stuff and they turn it around and it's like one free premium month to the hub.
Yeah. It's your insurance is paying for it, so it's premium.
That's crazy. Oh man.
Yeah. Hey, so off the therapy or am I the petty hole?
Yeah.
I think that you should, if somebody does something, I think you should be petty. I want to encourage more pettiness, because what's the
Yeah.
harm? Like, there's no
Exactly.
harm in you.
Yeah.
You
It's
know.
in the definition,
Yeah, yeah, it is.
right?
So anyway,
Yeah,
right
no, I
in.
agree.
We're FK the Pod everywhere. We're at FK the Pod on Threads, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and YouTube at FK the Pod, and we're fkthepod@gmail.com. Let us know if you have any petty stories. We would love to have some real life
Yeah.
petty stories.
Yeah, totally. That would be sweet to read
Yes.
some stuff from people who like listen to the show. That'd be pretty sweet.
It would.
I don't know that I have been very petty in many situations, at least recently.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't get wronged that often. But
I think there was an opportunity for me to be petty recently.
yeah,
But I wasn't. I just came home and complained to my girlfriend Jill. I was like, "Can you
I was gonna
believe that he
say,
said this to me?"
yeah. I was gonna say we need to come up with some scenarios where we could or could have been
Yeah.
more petty. You know.
Yeah. So, anyway, as I mentioned at the beginning of the pod, talking about the wine, so my sister came to visit. And one of the things we did while she was here is we went to this local, it's a coffee shop that turns into like a cocktail lounge at night. So, like in
Yeah,
the day.
those are pretty sweet. I like those.
There are a couple of them here. In the daytime, they do espresso drinks or whatever, and at night their special thing is espresso martinis, right? Because they've got the machines or whatever, and the people know how to make them. So anyway, we went there on like a Tuesday or Wednesday night or something.
Yeah.
And they're pretty. I think that they are pretty popular, especially like in the summer. Like they're tourists who come here and stuff. So in the summer, I think that they're pretty popular. And so in the daytime, you can just go in, but at night, they're like, oh, you have to have a reservation. So we had a reservation for a Tuesday night in March. And we were running a little bit late, and they were like, oh, we have a cancellation policy where we charge you $40 if you don't show up or whatever. So we're
Holy
like,
shit.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not like
Dude.
we're. I think it's like $10 a person or something. So it could have been, it could vary. But anyway, so I'm like driving pretty fast to get us there. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna give away our reservation.
Yeah,
and
they're like,
charge us-
sorry, dude. We already rationed out the supplies to make your cocktail.
Yeah,
All right, so you got to pay for it.
yeah. So anyway, we show up. There's like nobody at this place because it's a Tuesday night in March. But so in addition to the espresso martinis, they've got like this big. It's kind of in like an old house, like a big old house. So they've got like
Yeah.
an indoor part, and they've got like a backyard situation with like gravel and benches. And one of the things that they do is they have these like, I guess they're gas fireplaces or like fire pits, and so you can make s'mores there.
Okay, all right.
So
That's pretty sweet.
So,
Not an experience you get every day at a cocktail bar, at least.
no, it's not. So Jill and I, as vegetarians, we had to bring our own marshmallows because marshmallows
Nice.
are not vegetarian. But anyway, you get there and you have to order on like through a QR code or whatever. Like not just that, it's not just the menu is on a QR code. You place your order on your phone,
Oh.
and then yeah. So that was kind of weird too.
So what are you reserving?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like there were like
physical
1,000.
things, That's it.
Yeah, there were like 1,000, like, not 1,000. There were like, 10 other empty fire pit areas or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I got an espresso martini. It was my first espresso martini, and it was pretty good. There's something like the bitterness of the coffee kind of offsets some of the like, I don't know, of the alcohol, but it's pretty good.
With
I liked
vodka,
it.
Yeah, whatever is wrong with vodka.
Yeah, whatever. Because I wouldn't say it's bitter. I don't know what maybe
Yeah.
chemical taste of alcohol. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, Trent,
Yeah.
with the s'more kit. I'll tell you what it was labeled as, and I want to ask you what you think a fair market value of this, because you have to pay for the s'mores. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
the s'more kit on the online menu, it says is good for making 4 s'mores.
Okay.
How much do you think they charge you for 4 s'mores?
All right. So I'm thinking 4 big marshmallows, 4 graham cracker wafers, because you can like break them in
Break it in
half,
half.
right?
Yeah.
And then maybe like 1 full Hershey's chocolate bar. Um, maybe there's how many pieces? Is that like 12 pieces?
Yeah, I don't know how
Whatever.
many squares. They're not even
I'm
squares,
thinking
they're
like
rectangles.
1 full chocolate bar,
Yeah.
right? Probably good for 4. So full chocolate bar these days, I'm thinking uh generously 250.
Yeah.
4 marshmallows, it's got to be like $1.25.
Yeah.
And then 4 graham crackers is like max $1.
Okay.
So total for 4 s'mores, with maybe like a 50% upcharge, we'll say $6.
Okay. So it was $17.
Oh my god, dude! What the? That's crazy.
So if you do the math, that's about $4.25 per s'more.
That's insane, man.
But
What the
I
hell?
will say, when they came out there
You know
with
what?
the
Yeah, sorry, really quick. I didn't account for the natural gas.
oh right, which is expensive these days. It's about $10
Yeah, I guess
to
so.
make 4 s'mores. $10 of natural gas.
Crazy, crazy.
So it's one of those like the fire pits or fireplaces. I feel like you'll see them at like a hotel or a bar or restaurant. It's got kind of like aquarium stones, like those little glass beads, and you got the fire coming up. Like that's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
So anyway, when they brought the marshmallows out or the s'more kit out, I was like, okay, this still isn't worth $17, but it is at least a little bit better than I thought it was going to be, because it was probably more. The limiting factor was graham crackers. There were only like 2 full, maybe 3 full graham cracker sheets, or
Yeah,
which
right.
which I guess you can break in half to make a s'more. I was breaking them into like quarters to try to get as many s'mores as possible because, as I said, we snuck our own marshmallows in, so we had like unlimited marshmallows.
Nice.
They probably had 5 or 6, maybe even like 7 or 8 marshmallows, and they were like artisan marshmallows, which I wish I got to try them. I didn't because I was pretty sure they weren't vegetarian because most marshmallows aren't. But they were kind of like hard on the outside, but then like I think that they were soft on the inside, and also when you roast them over the fire, they like soften or something.
Yeah, yeah.
For chocolate, they had 1 full Hershey's bar.
Okay.
They had 1 full Hershey's cookies and cream bar,
Okay. All right, we're getting somewhere.
and they
We're
had
getting-
1 Reese's cup.
Oh. That's kind of lame. 1 singular Reese's cup. That's,
Yeah, I know. You could have at least given us
bad.
2, because like
Yeah,
2
like, give you a
come
whole
in the
pack.
pack. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I guess they're saving some money there. So anyway, I think if you do the math right, 1 Hershey bar plus 1 Hershey cookie and cream bar, that's like $4. Plus half of a Reese's, that's another $1. I mean, they're still more than doubling the cost of everything. But I guess you're paying
Yeah.
for the atmosphere. But then you're also paying $14 for a espresso
Right.
martini too.
What's weird to me, man, is that like there were ample marshmallows, ample chocolate, and 3 graham crackers.
Yeah, it
That's
was weird.
crazy. And the thing is, graham crackers are the cheapest part of it, so it's like the thing that you want to least skimp out on, right?
Yeah.
Because it's cheap. You can load the fucking bad boy up with graham crackers
Yeah.
and call it a s'mores plate and charge $17 for it because you get like 2 full sleeves of graham crackers. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So I don't get that. I don't know.
It was weird. I guess maybe they're thinking like if you have extra marshmallows and extra chocolate, you might just eat that. But like, will you just eat
Yeah.
extra graham crackers? Like, probably not. I think that's the least I would eat a graham cracker by itself.
If you paid $2 for the sheet of graham cracker.
Yeah, I would definitely eat it in that case. But yeah. So I mean, one other interesting thing I guess is like they still do coffee at night. So like if you wanted a coffee drink, that like they would just make you a cappuccino or whatever. So they start doing reservations only at like 4. So if you go there to like, meet with somebody at 4:30, you could still be in daytime mode and get an espresso drink, and they could be in nighttime mode already and get a espresso martini or whatever, which is kind of cool, I guess. They do. I don't think that they do alcohol during the day, but they still do coffee at night. So anyway,
there's this one cafe that I've been to a few times. It's not like a cocktail bar at night, but it does just like have beers and ciders as well. Mm-hmm. It's kind of interesting because most of the cafes that you go to here open at like 9 a.m. and close at like 2 p.m.,
Yeah.
But this place, I guess they stay open later because they have beers and stuff like that. It's pretty sweet. It's kind of cool. It's nice to go to a cafe and hang out and be like, you know what? I don't really want coffee at this fucking cafe. I want to feel like a bro.
Yeah.
Give me that Deepa, baby.
Let me get the Deepa. Yeah.
That's funny, man.
In addition to my sister coming to visit, one of Jill's cousins also came to visit. So we basically never had company at our apartment yet. We've only been here together for like a couple months now.
Yeah.
We had two companies in 1 week.
That's how you do it, man. You rip them all off at the same time.
That's what I was saying. Like midway through the week, we were like, because also like my sister came on like Monday, and it's like, oh wow, we still have like work and stuff, but also want to like, do host stuff and other fun stuff and go to the S'mores espresso bar, and then in the middle of the week, it's like, oh no, we still have another guest coming. Whoa, gotta make sure the place is clean and stuff. But it was fun. Everybody was fun and good to have. But one other thing that we did with Jill's cousin is we went to a kind of, I guess it's I wouldn't really say it's a dive bar. It's like I feel like it's like too clean to be a dive bar. Me and Jill have been to this place twice. It's definitely like not for us. Like it's for like, I don't know, like 40-year-old men kind of vibe.
Okay. All
but
right.
it's close to us and it's quiet and like you can sit there and talk to somebody. Like a lot of them it's too dark or too loud or something, and so like if you're seeing a family member who you haven't seen for a long time, maybe that's not the vibe. But we also like this place because the like only bartender we've ever seen there, she brings her dog, and her dog is like behind the bar. It's a big dog too, and he'll do this thing. She'll put a treat out for him to do this. She'll like put a treat on the bar, and so he'll put his paws on the bar to get the treat, and then you have like a photo op of taking a picture of the dog, like as if he's the bartender. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
nice, dude. That's cool. I appreciate pets in bars that are owned by the bartender.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes.
Pets in bars owned by customers, awful most of the time.
Yeah.
But a bar dog, bar cat, pretty fucking sweet.
I agree, because if you're the bar dog or bar cat, you have been at the bar before, right? You know what you're doing. You're a regular.
Yeah.
And if you're a dog who is unfamiliar with this bar, you're probably trying to sniff crotch and like steal people's pub fries or whatever. And you're probably more annoying than like bar dog, who is like very nice.
I agree. But I mean, I guess, hey, we talked about on this show before opening up a brewery.
We did.
So, if anyone out there listening knows of a good brew dog that we can have when we open up our bar, hit us up. Hit us up on fucking email us. Send us pictures of your bar dog.
Yeah.
We want to know what they look like, how chill they are, and
how chill they are.
And can they restock a keg. That's all we need.
Yeah. Can they
right.
wear a beanie? I feel like that's
Yeah,
something
of
you
course.
do if you're
Of course.
if you're working at a brewery. Can the dog wear sunglasses?
Yeah,
That
right.
would be another cool
These are
thing.
important. These are important things. Most of all, tell us if your bar cat likes, I don't know, what's at a brewery that a cat would like.
Do they like licking condensation off of glasses? That's something.
Yeah,
That's
we
something
need a
Danny
cat
does.
to clean. We need a cat to work in in the dish room. The cats love water. That's what we need. But you can find us everywhere at FKA the Pod. That's Instagram, that's X, that's Threads, that's Twitter, which is X. That's all the other ones. We still have a TikTok. Follow us. Give us a comment. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Send us an email at FKA the Pod, and subscribe to us on YouTube so you can see our beautiful little faces. That's it. Have a good one.